Hello and welcome. It's Friday, it's 11 o'clock, it's Techsavvy time. And today we're looking at various little tweaks about Google Mail that may be of help to you. Google Mail is the free mail service that comes with Google, along with Google Docs and Google Spreadsheet or Sheet and other Google products. But this particular mail is used a lot by people, and many people trip up over some of the simple things that can happen. My wife was asking me questions about why couldn't she see all her emails, and a lot of people ask that question. So let me take you over to Google Mail now, and I'll share my screen, and you will see basically the Google Mail that I want to show you. So I'm going to share my audio, and here we go. And I'm just going across to here. And this is a Google Mail account I use. And at the moment, it's set in the way that I particularly like it. But over here on the right, if I just close that for a second, this is the area you should be looking at, the settings button. Because what happens here determines how this will look. In some versions of Google Mail, the actual compose button will say compose, but it's a round circle with a pen through it at the time. So if I click on settings here, you will see that there are density options. And if I just click and show you what each of these do, so that you've got an idea of how it changes the look, because this is what's happening with people who say they can't find all their emails because it's either embedded or put into a thread. So this becomes what they call comfortable, but it doesn't show the attachments. So if I click on that, all you can see is a paperclip around those particular ones. But if I go to compact, you will see that it squashes everything up. So if you do get a lot of emails, this is quite a useful one for that. But again, you will have to look for the paperclip in the corner to actually see how it looks. So if I go back to default on density there, which is the fullest view, if you like, of everything. Now, this is what can happen. All of a sudden, you find that emails that you just had are not all there. So if I click on important first, you will see that my Techsavvy one is still there, but it's not necessarily showing me everything. And so important first is ones that have got the little yellow chevron that's listed. So anything that doesn't have the yellow chevron is not there. So I'm fortunate, but Linda Cooper doesn't have a yellow chevron on this. So if I go to important first, you will see that that particular one has disappeared. It's not in the list. So it's easy to miss the ones. Unread first, similar kind of issue, but that's the only two I haven't unread this morning. So where are my other emails? Under everything else. So that button is important as well. Starred first, that gives even more importance to that. That's like a favorite or an email that you want to keep at the top of your list. And priority inbox, it basically puts the most important ones you haven't seen or read and places them above the others under everything else, which if that is not opened up, you can't see everything. Multiple inboxes is when you have more than one Google account sitting here on the right. And then we have other options. I'm just going to go and put it back to default, which brings every email back again. Most times it should be like that, but if you need to check these settings, if your emails have been put in the wrong place. So no split means that you see the emails coming in that view. Right of inbox, you will see now that you've got an email setting over here. And when you click on your email, you can see the contents. So you might like that view. Other people don't like it to the right. They might like it below. So here I have all of that email. Sometimes that is set. And that can be useful, but also quite confusing because literally it's below. And so each line I'm just picking up and putting behind there. So I'm going to go back to no split for me at the moment. And then the one that really confuses people is what I call, yeah. Yeah. And so what I'm looking at here is conversational view. And this is when you have an email thread. And a thread is basically following through a conversation that you're having with somebody. So basically you could turn that off and come back into it and not see that. So you won't be able to see a thread coming. They're just listed as separate emails that I'm pointing out there. Okay. So I'm going to make sure that I have that switched on. So I'm coming back into this in the hope that I'll see it down here at the bottom. And I'll tick the box so that I basically can reload it back in again and have all my threads visible. So that's really that side of it. The only other bit is over here on the left. And when you look at the left, you might click on these lines and all of a sudden everything's reduced to icons, which is all very well. But in my prerequisites for this session, I talked about all mail. And what a lot of people struggle with is what's going on here. Because if you actually scroll down the list, you will see that all mail will appear. Sometimes right at the bottom, it'll say more. And that's important because you might not see all mail at some views, if it gets percentages. But if you want to see everything listed as that, sure, you can put your mouse over there if you like a clean desktop, but you can also click on that and that releases it all. So what you can also do is you can go to all mail. And if you still cannot find all your mail, if you click on that button, it will give you every mail that has come in and you'll be able to find it from there. But I'm going back to inbox, which is the ones that have come in, and this Techsavvy one. Now, you can also, going down to all mail, and it will only work like that. There are 3 dots here, and these are where people can create folders. Say you want to keep a particular one, and I have created one down here called Techsavvy. How did I do that? Well, I just clicked on these 3 buttons here, and it says add sub-label at the bottom, and that's how I created it. So I'm going to use that one. So this is useful if you want to keep emails in a folder that you can then recall later, just as you might do in Outlook. So in order to put it into that folder, I just hold my left mouse down and move it across into Techsavvy there. Notice it's gone from my main list, but it's actually in my folder. So if I click on that, there is my Techsavvy email that I wrote for this particular session. This is an example of how to place an email in a folder. So really, that's all that I have to say about using Gmail and all the particular intricacies of seeing and sharing your emails. So now you shouldn't lose your email. You should be able to find it. Thank you for watching. And if I come back to my main program here, yes, do check out my website, which is here, http://AIS123.com, where you will see past episodes of Techsavvy, also my other media platforms like the Smiles podcast, which is all about assistive technology. Every week I do a podcast for that. And then there is the AT show, which is infrequent, but it comes up with things that have happened in the AT world that may be of note for people to look at. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this useful, and see you again next week. Bye for now.